How's it going, everyone? It's K Limited here, and today we're going to be talking about the Garbage Pail Kids' Mad Mike's quest for the stale gum. This is a 8-bit video game, retro style, that came out at the end of last year, 2022, and I just now finally played it, and I have to say I'm really glad I finally did play it. I really enjoyed it. The only reason I didn't pick it up sooner is because I'm a cheapskate and I was waiting for it to go on sale. And I finally did. So I picked it up for, it's $6. It's usually only $10. Yes, I'm that cheap sometimes, sometimes it's just like, I'm just going to wait until it's really cheap. And I did. But either way, honestly, $10 is not a bad price for this game. I'd say that the full price for this game is completely worth it. I just happen to be cheap sometimes, and I was definitely being cheap when it came to this game. But it's a fun game. I really enjoyed it. And if you like retro games, I'm sure that you will enjoy this as well. But I think that you will enjoy this even more if you are a Garbage Pail Kids fan. I love the Garbage Pail Kids. I grew up collecting the Garbage Pail Kids. I still buy cards every now and then. To this day, I just have a special place in my heart for these grotesque cards. And this game is full of the grotesqueness, the grossness, all of that stuff that Garbage Pail Kids represents. It is in this game, and it is done very well. You play as the character of Mad Mike on a few different levels. I think you get about 6 different environments that you go through, and his quest to go find basically a missing ingredient in each level to make stale gum, because he doesn't want fresh gum. The apocalypse happened, and they only have fresh gum right now, and he doesn't want that. He wants stale gum. Because he says stale gum ages like fine wine, which, I've had stale gum before. I've opened up one of those old packs and tried the gum. Who hasn't? Okay, it's not good. It's like eating drywall. But that's what Mad Mike likes, so Mad Mike is going to get what he wants, okay? So the levels are pretty cool. You got a few different ones. You have the Stone Age, you have Tokyo, you have literally hell, you have as space. I don't remember if it's Mars or if it's just space, but either way, you have that. And you actually have the Mars attacks characters like on the plane actually attacking you, which is pretty cool. I think it's based off the old Mars Attacks cards that, like, there was a Garbage Pail Kids version of the Mars Attacks cards. I don't remember what his name was, though. But you have that. There's a bunch of references to Garbage Pail Kids cards in this that you're going to love. There's Transylvania. Transylvania? I think it's how you say it. It's not Transylvania, it's like Transylvania or something like that. And every time I say it, I feel like I'm gonna get like canceled. But it's basically like, it's a parody off of Castlevania, and it's really fun. I was trying to see if there was like meat behind the walls like there is in Castlevania, and like, I was trying to knock down torches off the walls. Unfortunately, can't do that. But still, it was still really cool to see kind of this like parody version of Castlevania. And even at the end, you have a boss fight with their version of Dracula. It was really cool, and I really enjoyed that. And really, the level design is pretty darn good. I enjoyed it. It's not quite to the point of being Metroidvania, I personally wouldn't say. Like, yeah, you can explore it, but it's not to the, it's not to the point of Metroidvania style, I would say. It's close to it, but not quite. There's definitely, I've played a lot of games with more exploration, a lot more retro games with more exploration, and a lot more retro-inspired games with more exploration. I'd say that this one does have a little bit of exploration, but for the most part, you pretty much know where to go. But I do really enjoy what's there, and I really enjoyed playing through this game. I played it on easy mode. I'm not a big fan of playing games on difficult modes, especially these retro-style games. Retro games are tough enough as it is. I'm not going to sit there and play through hard mode and struggle. So I played it on easy mode, but I still felt like I had a fair challenge. However, I did find out on my second playthrough, because I played through this twice, that there was actually a rewind button. And that does take the difficulty away pretty much entirely if you use that. And it gets tempting to use that every now and then, especially if you're like jumping and you just fall off a cliff and you're just like, oh, I'll just rewind that. Like, I like the feature, but at the same time, it does make it feel a little bit too easy. And I have a bad habit of, pressing the button whenever I fall off a cliff. So, I guess that's maybe more of a me problem. But I do like that they have that feature, honestly. Especially for someone like me who, I like 8-bit style games. I like retro style games. I don't like the difficulty. So for me, that's like a perfect feature. And you can even have saves, your save states and everything, which is really cool. I believe you can only have one save at a time. You may be able to save more, but I hadn't figured out how to yet. And I've played it for over 5 hours. So, but yeah, maybe you can, maybe you can't. But as far as I know, you can only have one save. And there is this weird thing called the original version and the updated version, and I never figured out what the difference was. I even looked it up and tried to find the difference out between the two, and I couldn't figure it out. So I don't know what the difference between those two versions is, but you get to select updated or original. And I played through them both, and they felt exactly the same to me. So I have no idea what that's about. Maybe you can figure it out. I have no idea. They felt exactly the same to me. There are some other customizations that you can do. There's some filters so you can add like scan lines in. You can make it look like you're playing on a CRT TV and stuff like that, which is kind of neat, but I like playing it smooth looking and nice looking. You can put different borders around it. You can stretch it out to make it full screen, but when you stretch it out, obviously all the pixels look kind of stretched out and it doesn't look too good. So I like it just keeping it how it basically is at default. I think the way it is at default is perfect, and I really enjoyed it. Overall, I really like the way that this game looks. I like the way that this game plays. You get to select 4 different characters. You have 4 different characters to choose from, and you can actually swap at any time during the levels to any of the other characters, and they all have something that they're better with. You have Leaky Lindsay, who basically has snot rockets, which are basically projectiles, so she is way better with obviously longer range. You have characters like Luke Puke, who can throw up, and his puke will basically go through thin floors, so it will go through a thin floor and it will land on an enemy below, which is pretty useful. And then you have Mad Mike, who's just stronger than everyone else. He can hit people once, and basically he'll do more damage than the other characters. And then you also have Patty Putty, and that character can jump higher than any of the other characters and get to places that are harder to reach, which is a very nice ability. And you also have power cards, so if you lose a character, you can use one of your power cards, and you can revive a character, or you can use a power card, and it will give you the ability to fly, and it will give you, it will hurt all the characters on the screen. There's a few different power ability cards you can get, and those are pretty cool. And you can also collect other cards as you go along each area, and you can trade the cards with other NPCs in the game and try to get a full collection of the cards that are in this game, which is pretty cool. Not all of them are power cards. Some of them are just, basically there because Garbage Pail Kids, why not have just extra cards? But still, it's still a cool idea to be able to trade with other NPCs and get all these different Garbage Pail Kids cards. I thought that was a cool idea. There's a few issues in this game, but nothing super bad. I've noticed that sometimes the screen will just start scrolling down randomly, and then will go back to where your character is. I never figured out why it does that. It's just like the screen starts to drift away from your character, and then it's just like, oh wait, no, your character's still up there, and it will bounce right back. So I don't know what that was about. And also, there's these bats that poop. That's literally what they do. And their hitboxes aren't right. For some reason, their hitboxes are extremely small, even though the enemy's really big. So I don't know what was up with that, but I had a hard time just knocking those ones out for some reason, because the hitbox was just one little space on the entire character, and I didn't really get that, but it is what it is. I think the boss fights are fun, I think the levels are fun, I think it's designed really well, and I think all the themes are really cool, and I like being able to swap through these 4 different characters. And in terms of the story, I mean, it's a Garbage Pail Kids story. It's gross, it's nasty, and it's what you want from Garbage Pail Kids. I think you should definitely go check it out. I waited until it was on sale for $6. You don't have to do that. Like I said, I was just being irritable, and I was being a cheapskate. So I definitely think this game is worth a full $10 that they ask for it. You get quite a bit here, and there's even a little cartoon intro that you can watch. They give you this little movie section, and they give you a couple videos you can watch, and one of them is a Garbage Pail Kids cartoon episode that they made for this game, and it was pretty good. And the other one is just a kind of a jokey trailer type thing for basically finding the lost Garbage Pail Kids game, which I actually thought was kind of cool as well. I thought it was funny. But yeah, definitely check this game out. It's a lot of fun. And it's weird to have a new Garbage Pail Kids game in 2022, but hey, you know what? If they made another one, a sequel to this, I would love it. I think it would be great. I would think it would be really cool if they actually just kept going through like the different generations of consoles, and they just kept like updating Garbage Pail Kids as they went. Like maybe since this one was 8-bit, maybe now go to 16-bit, and then from there go into like N64 style graphics and do like a 3D style game. It can be a 3D, you know, I guess it'd be like a 2.5D platformer, or you could do a 3D platformer and make it like, you know, Donkey Kong Country, or like a, you know, or is it Donkey Kong 64? Either way, or Banjo-Kazooie, you know, that style of game. You could make it like that. Or since it's gross, you could make it like Conker's Bad Fur Day. That'd be awesome. But yeah, you know, just keep going through the consoles and just keep updating the graphics with each game. I think that'd be a cool idea. So maybe they'll do that. I probably not, but you know, I'm hopeful. But yeah, definitely check this game out. Thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you in the next video. You have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.